have JP Smith, the man just elected here, of course, as the federal deputy chairperson. JP, let me not keep you for long. Thank you for joining us at eNCA. Just your sentiments on the leadership that's been elected here. It's the one that is to take the DA to the elections next year. What will your focus be?
So, laser focus. We have an incredibly important mission. We've got a year left to convince South Africans, those who have drawn a line under the ANC and have decided in their heart to walk away from it, putting the ANC at a 40% poll. There are voters now who are looking for that home. We've got a year to make sure that they see the DA as a home for all South Africans, regardless of how they look, what they worship, where they're from, and that we're able to build a viable alternative government, because we simply will not survive another 5 years of ANC government till 2029. This is our Hail Mary election, and we are going to make sure that we pull out all the stops. I'm very much a machine room operator, and I'm going to be focusing on getting the systems in place to make sure we can fight this election.
We heard, of course, the speech from John Steenhuisen, very pointed and directed towards the EFF, the third biggest party, as well as the ANC, the biggest party. And, I mean, we're going to the advent of coalition governance if the ANC does indeed dip below 50%. So clearly no working relations between these two parties. How are you going to govern them?
So you will have to put together a coalition of alternative parties, but you have to have a like-minded vision here. I think the lesson we learned from coalition politics is that you cannot work with people who have a completely diametrically opposed vision. And the worst scenario for South Africa is an ANC-EFF coalition. That's the absolute worst case scenario for South Africa. Beyond that lies capital flight, lies disinvestment, and a great loss of confidence in our country. And the consequences of that, I'm afraid, is a race to the bottom. So we have to work together with the other parties. There are conversations already happening. There are working relationships built out of these coalitions that are working, and that's what we will have to build on and take forward. And of course, a lot determines about what the voters actually do. There's no coalition we put together without a mandate from the voters. So everything depends now on the voters seeing this opportunity to have regime change, to have an alternative, and to fix what is wrong in South Africa. Because there's not so much wrong that we can't fix it. How we look in another 5 years by 2029, that's maybe a different story.
All right, thank you very much. JP Smith, just elected, of course, the federal deputy chairperson. Back to you in studio, Dumal.